America, 1851. Civil War is brewing. The abolitionists are gaining momentum. Slavery is dividing a nation. Support for women's suffrage is growing too, demanding equal rights to own property, to an education, to work outside the home, and of course, the right to vote. At a convention in Akron, Ohio, a female and former slave passionately expresses these radical ideas, rallying support for both the anti-slavery movement and for feminism. Read Ain't I a Woman by Sojourner Truth.
Sojourner Truth, born 1797, died 1883. Sojourner Truth was an American abolitionist and women's rights activist. She was born into slavery in New York, but escaped in 1826. Sojourner Truth delivered a speech titled Ain't I a Woman? The speech was delivered in 1851 in Ohio. She spoke to a group of women at a women's conference. You're going to see a video of someone recreating that speech in just a moment. Let's take a look at this quote from her speech. I have plowed and reaped and husked and chopped and mowed. And can any man do more than that? How do you think she feels about men and women? Let's watch this recreation of the speech.
Well, children, where there is so much racket, there must be something out of kilter. I think that twixt the Negroes of the South and the women at the North all talking about rights, the white man will be in a fix pretty soon. But what's all this here talking about? That man over there says that women need to be helped into carriages and lifted over ditches and to have the best place everywhere. Nobody ever helps me into carriages or over mud puddles or gives me any best place. And ain't I a woman? Look at me. Look at my arm. I have plowed and planted and gathered into barns, and no man could head me. And ain't I a woman? I could work as much and eat as much as a man when I could get it, and bear the lash as well. And ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children and seen most all sold off to slavery. And when I cried out with my mother's grief, none but Jesus heard me. And ain't I a woman? Then they talk about this thing in the head. What's this they call it? That's it, honey. What's that got to do with women's rights or Negro rights? If my cup won't hold but a pint and yours holds a quart, wouldn't you be mean not to let me have my little half measure full? When that little man in black there, he says women can't have as much rights as men because Christ wasn't a woman. Where did your Christ come from? Where did your Christ come from? From God and a woman. Man had nothing to do with him. If the first woman God ever made was strong enough to turn the world upside down all alone, these women together ought to be able to turn it back and get it right side up again. And now they is asking to do it. The men better let them. Obliged to you for hearing me. And now old Sojourner ain't got nothing more to say.